Before the world knew her as Queen Latifah, rapper, singer, actress, producer, and one of the most iconic voices of empowerment, she was Dana Elaine Owens, a young girl growing up in Newark, New Jersey. Life in the city wasn't easy. Surrounded by crime, poverty, and societal challenges, Latifah learned early that if she wanted to rise, she had to fight for every opportunity. Her mother, Rita, a teacher and counselor, instilled in her a sense of discipline and the belief that intelligence and determination could break through any barrier. Her father, Lancelot Owens, also emphasized the importance of self-respect and pride in her heritage. From a young age, Latifah was drawn to music. She discovered the power of words, of rhythm, rhyme, and storytelling as a tool to express herself and claim her space in a world that often tried to silence girls like her. At 16, she started writing rhymes and performing at local talent shows. Her stage name, Latifah, meaning delicate in Arabic, symbolized the combination of grace and strength she wanted to embody, a woman who could be soft and powerful at the same time. By the mid-1980s, Latifah began performing at clubs and local radio stations. She faced rejection after rejection, but she refused to let her environment dictate her dreams. At just 19, she signed her first recording contract, becoming one of the first female rappers to secure a major label deal. Her debut album, All Hail the Queen, wasn't just a collection of songs, it was a manifesto. With tracks celebrating self-respect, independence, and empowerment, she gave voice to women who had long been ignored in hip-hop and popular culture. Her rise in the music world was meteoric. She wasn't just competing with other artists, she was breaking stereotypes. Female rappers were often marginalized, but Latifah brought credibility, style, and intellect to the stage. Every lyric was purposeful. Every performance was bold. The world began to notice. She wasn't just an artist. She was a movement. But her ambition didn't stop at music. Queen Latifah had always seen herself beyond the microphone. She wanted to act, to produce, to tell stories that mattered. In the early 1990s, she made her first appearances on television and film. Hollywood was skeptical. Could a rapper transition to acting successfully? Latifah refused to be boxed in. She trained, learned, and worked relentlessly, proving that her talent was multi-dimensional. Her breakthrough came with Living Single, a television series that redefined how African-American women were portrayed on screen. Latifah's portrayal of Khadisha James, a strong, intelligent, and ambitious magazine editor, resonated deeply. For the first time, audiences saw a woman of color who was unapologetically successful, funny, and complex. The show ran for 5 seasons and became a cultural touchstone, paving the way for Latifah's future as a powerhouse in entertainment. Even with her growing fame, Latifah faced challenges. Hollywood was not always welcoming, and stereotypes about race, gender, and appearance were constant obstacles. Yet, she approached each challenge with the same resilience that had fueled her from Newark's streets. She diversified her career, moving into film, music, production, and even entrepreneurship, ensuring that she was never limited by the expectations of others. Queen Latifah's journey from a determined girl in Newark to an international icon is a testament to the power of perseverance, talent, and self-belief. She transformed obstacles into opportunities, criticism into motivation, and her name into a symbol of empowerment for women around the world. By the late 1990s, Queen Latifah had already changed the music scene, but she was just getting started. She wanted more than radio hits. She wanted to change how the world saw women like her. When she stepped into Hollywood, producers didn't quite know what to do with a tall, confident, African-American woman who rapped, sang, acted, and produced. But Latifah didn't wait for permission. She created her own lane. Her film debut came in Jungle Fever 1991, a small role that gave her a taste of cinema's possibilities. Soon after, she appeared in Set It Off 1996 alongside Jada Pinkett Smith, Vivica A. Fox, and Kimberly Elise, a story about for women pushed to the edge by poverty and injustice. Latifah's performance as Cleo was raw, fierce, and unforgettable. It wasn't just acting, it was truth. She poured her own pain, courage, and defiance into that character. Critics praised her intensity, and audiences felt seen. That movie became a turning point. It proved Queen Latifah could hold her own against Hollywood's best. Yet, her path wasn't smooth. Hollywood wasn't built for women who didn't fit the mold, and Latifah knew it. Instead of conforming, she embraced her difference. She brought authenticity and grace to every role, from the comedies that made people laugh to the dramas that made them cry. In Chicago 2002, she transformed into matron Mama Morton, delivering a performance so commanding that she earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. That nomination wasn't just a personal win. It was history. It was a message that talent has no boundaries, that identity is not a limit but a source of strength. After Chicago, doors opened, but Latifah remained selective. She chose roles that reflected dignity, humor, and humanity. Bringing Down the House 2003, Beauty Shop 2005, Last Holiday 2006, each one showed a different side of her: the comedian, the romantic, the dreamer. And behind the scenes, she began producing her own projects through her company, Flavor Unit Entertainment. She wanted to create opportunities for others who, like her, were once told they didn't belong. What set Queen Latifah apart wasn't just her talent, it was her mindset. She didn't chase fame. She built legacy. She believed that success meant lifting others, representing your roots proudly, and never apologizing for your greatness. While many artists struggled to balance authenticity and mainstream appeal, Latifah stayed grounded. She spoke openly about self-worth, body confidence, and faith. In an industry obsessed with perfection, she became the voice of realness. Music remained her heartbeat. Her albums like Black Rain and the Dana Owens album blended soul, jazz, and hip-hop, a mix that mirrored her versatility. Songs like You and I.T.Y. became anthems of empowerment, reminding women to stand tall, demand respect, and never accept less than they deserve. That track earned her a Grammy Award and a place among legends. Then came television, again this time as a producer and host. The Queen Latifah Show brought warmth, humor, and inspiration into millions of homes. She didn't just interview celebrities. She celebrated everyday heroes, spreading the message that everyone has greatness within. Her charisma lit up every screen, proving that success can be powerful yet humble. But behind the spotlight, Latifah faced personal battles, loss, grief, and moments of doubt. When her brother Lancelot was killed in a motorcycle accident, she was devastated. She wore his keychain around her neck for years as a reminder of his spirit. She also faced struggles with her health and the pressures of fame. Yet through it all, she never broke. She used pain as purpose, turning tragedy into transformation. In interviews, she spoke of healing, self-acceptance, and gratitude, her words inspiring millions who looked up to her as proof that strength isn't the absence of struggle but the courage to keep going. By the 2010s, Queen Latifah had become more than an entertainer, she was an empire. She starred in blockbusters, produced films that celebrated diversity, and became a face of major brands without ever compromising who she was. She showed the world that success and kindness can coexist, that power and compassion can live in the same heart. Her influence reached beyond Hollywood. She became a role model for women worldwide, especially those who had ever felt invisible. She mentored young artists, supported community projects, and used her platform to advocate for equality and inclusion. Queen Latifah wasn't just breaking barriers anymore, she was building bridges.